Hello, I'm Luna Celestine. If you're a Leo or have Leo rising or moon, and you've felt like the last 15 years have been a challenging journey, then today's video is made just for you. I know you can't imagine it. There's something that truly happened, and it's not just personal emotions, but a karmic cycle that's been playing out, clearly marked in your astrological chart. The years where you had to constantly prove your worth, the times you were misunderstood, hurt by those you once trusted, all of this was not a punishment from the universe. We're talking about a period of quiet yet profound training, where you were placed in situations to learn how to hold on to your light even when no one else could see it. And now, the most important thing, that cycle is over. 2nd April 2025 is not just a new year, it's a turning point. In astrology, we are witnessing significant shifts with the slow-moving planets, particularly the movement of Saturn and Pluto, two planets tied to karma, rebirth, and power. The energies that have weighed you down, that have suppressed your radiance, are now retreating. Today's video will dive deep into this. We will reflect on the past 10 years, decode why they've been so harsh, and most importantly, understand why the coming era is what's being called Leo's revenge era. It's not revenge in a negative sense, but the return of the power you've lost. If you're ready to confront the past, to understand yourself better, and prepare for your time to truly reign, stay with me until the end of this video. This is your time to reclaim what's always been yours. Let's begin with love. Because for Leo, love is never just a detail. It's the stage, the flame, and often the mirror. On April 2nd, 2025, with the moon forming a subtle but stirring angle to the sun, there's a quiet shift happening in your emotional landscape. You may not feel it as fireworks, but you might feel it in the way someone looks at you a little longer, or in how your heart softens toward a version of connection you used to doubt. If you're single, this isn't about chasing or proving. Something different is happening. Your energy, after years of being chipped away by disappointments and unspoken grief, is beginning to magnetize from a place of quiet authority. Your aura is louder than words now. There's someone, perhaps more than one, who recognizes it across a room, not because you're trying, but because you've finally stopped dimming your own fire. And if you're already in a relationship, you'll notice something else. The wounds that once felt like walls, mistrust, fear of being misunderstood, the need to be in control, start to feel softer, more transparent. What this moment asks of you is honesty, not drama. It's about creating a space where both of you can be seen without armor. The reward? A connection that feels not just passionate, but safe, mutual, and rooted. This isn't just a lucky day in love. It's a marker, a reminder that your heart, after years of being tested, is ready to be met on equal ground. And as we move into the rest of this forecast, career, purpose, personal transformation, you'll notice a pattern. Everything begins to respond differently once you stop trying to force belonging and start returning to your natural place of radiance. Love isn't the reward for survival. It's the expression of who you are when you finally feel free. Now let's talk about your career. Because for Leo, work has never just been about survival. It's about creation, pride, and purpose. And yet, over the past years, it may have felt like you were pouring your energy into something that didn't quite reflect your brilliance. You've had ideas, bold, vibrant, often ahead of their time. Projects you started and shelved, visions that felt too big for the moment. Maybe you were told to wait, to be more realistic, to tone it down. And maybe, somewhere along the way, a part of you started to believe it. But on April 2nd, 2025, we begin to see those seeds stirring again. The astrological alignments, subtle though they may be, are unlocking something crucial, your inner authority. Not the version of you that seeks applause, but the one that knows which path is yours, even if no one else walks it yet. If you've been sitting on a passion project, a business idea, a piece of creative work, or a professional leap you've quietly dreamed about, this is the time to pay attention. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is trust in your own timing. The moment you stop outsourcing your confidence, doors begin to open, often in ways you couldn't predict. Promotions, unexpected offers, a piece of content or work going viral, someone finally recognizing what you've always known, that you're not here to fit into a role, you're here to define one. But here's the key. Your career expansion isn't separate from your emotional or spiritual growth. It's a reflection of it. That's why this moment is so powerful. You're not building from ego anymore. You're building from experience, self-worth, and a deep clarity about what you will and will not accept. In the next part, we'll explore what this shift does to your inner world, your sense of purpose, your spiritual alignment, and how it all comes together. Because when Leo stops performing and starts aligning, success becomes inevitable. Let's expand into finances. Because while Leo often leads with heart and vision, security and sovereignty are part of your birthright too. For the past several years, your financial landscape may have felt unpredictable. Perhaps you gave too much, your time, your energy, your creativity, without equal return. Maybe you held on to things that felt safe even when they no longer supported your growth. Or maybe, like many Leos, you equated success with visibility and overlooked the quieter foundations that sustain real wealth. But as we step into April 2nd, 2025, something is shifting. Not just in your external circumstances, but in your financial mindset. The same energy that once pushed you to seek validation is now guiding you toward ownership, not just of your talents, but of what those talents are worth. This is a time to redefine your relationship with money, to treat it not as something you chase, but something that responds to clarity, boundaries, and alignment. You may feel called to review how you earn, how you invest, and how you spend, not from fear, but from intention. Opportunities may arise through unexpected sources, a past idea revived, a side project gaining traction, someone finally offering to pay you what you're truly worth. But they won't come to the version of you that still doubts your value. They'll come to the one who knows how much time and energy it took to survive, to heal, to rise. What's important now is to remember, your financial growth is not separate from your emotional and spiritual evolution. It's the proof that when you stop compromising who you are, the world responds with support, recognition, and resources. In the final part of this video, we'll take everything, love, career, spirit, and now wealth, and bring it into practice. Because this new chapter for Leo isn't just about insight, it's about embodiment. And the abundance you've been preparing for, it's not coming, it's already here. Finally, we arrive at the part most people overlook. But for you, Leo, it may be the quiet force behind everything that's shifting. Your inner world, the version of you that once needed recognition to feel real, is slowly dissolving. It's not because you've stopped caring. It's because you're beginning to understand that your worth was never meant to be negotiated. April 2nd, 2025 marks the beginning of a deeper kind of hunger, not for applause, but for alignment. You'll find yourself drawn toward solitude, not out of isolation, but out of clarity. Meditation, journaling, silence, even short walks without distraction. These simple acts begin to feel like power moves. You're less interested in proving something and more invested in remembering who you are. And as you step away from the need to constantly be seen, something magnetic begins to form around you. Your presence, once loud out of necessity, becomes undeniable out of essence. People are drawn in not because you ask for attention, but because you no longer depend on it. That's real gravity. Spiritually, this is where the shift becomes irreversible. The moments you used to chase, success, love, influence, they start chasing you. Not because you're manifesting harder, but because you're no longer out of alignment with yourself. And that's what this era is truly about. Your revenge isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about becoming so fully yourself that the world can't help but respond. In the final part of this video, we'll bring everything together: love, purpose, power, and peace. And I'll walk you through the 3 steps to not just understand this energy, but to activate it. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to live like it's already yours. Before we close, I need to offer you something that may be even more important than all the gifts waiting ahead. A warning. Because with every turning point, especially one as karmically significant as this, there's a test. And Leo, yours will come. Quietly. It may look like an old flame reappearing just when you're feeling a little uncertain. It might take the form of a job offer from a place you swore you'd never return to, but that now promises stability. It could even be a habit, overworking, oversharing, overgiving, that slips back in under the disguise of comfort. But make no mistake, these aren't signs from the universe. They're echoes. They're invitations to return to a version of yourself that you've already outgrown. You didn't endure 15 years of inner work to go back to people who didn't see you. You didn't survive betrayal, silence, doubt, and burnout just to slip back into old patterns because they feel familiar. The universe is not sentimental about your past. It's not concerned with nostalgia. It is firmly, irreversibly invested in your forward motion. And it will reward you only when your actions reflect that same commitment. This is the moment you choose. Do I move toward expansion, or do I return to what's known but limiting? Your answer doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be consistent. Let your silence speak for you when old versions of your life come knocking. Let your no be sacred. Let your yes be aligned. And as we step into the final part of this journey, I'll give you 3 grounded, practical steps to activate everything we've explored. So this energy doesn't stay an idea, but becomes your new baseline. So how do you ground this energy, this sense of release, of return, of quiet power, into something you can live, not just feel? And that's where we come to the final part of this journey. Not a theory, not a vision board, but 3 simple, intentional steps that speak the language of your subconscious, your body, and your energy field. These are not rituals for show. They're not here to impress anyone. They are here to align you with what's already yours. 1. Daily affirmation. Say it, whisper it, write it, carry it in your chest like a vow. I am already royalty. My crown is permanent. Not because someone handed it to you, but because you reclaimed it. This affirmation isn't wishful thinking. It's a statement of fact your nervous system needs to hear every single day until there's no part of you left that begs for recognition. Speak it in the morning before the world touches you. Say it at night when you feel small. Let it be the reminder that you no longer need to become anything. You're only remembering who you are. 2. Release ritual. Choose one wound, not all of them, just one memory, one betrayal, one voice that still echoes inside you. Write it down. All of it. The emotion, the confusion, the story you've told yourself. Then, safely and intentionally, burn it. Watch it turn to ash. Let the fire be your witness. Let it mark the difference between who you were then and who you refuse to be now. This isn't about forgetting. It's about transmuting, turning pain into fuel, turning endings into space. 3. Embody your power colors. Every day, bring your body into the conversation. Wear yellow, wear red, wear orange, not for the world, but for your aura, for your own cellular memory. These are Leo's solar colors. Royal, radiant, bold. Let them remind you what energy you're stepping into. Let them guide the way you move, the way you speak, the way you enter rooms without asking permission. This isn't about style, it's about signal. To yourself, to the universe, to the life that's waiting for you, to meet it in your full strength. Start with these 3, and let the transformation be quiet, consistent, and unstoppable. You don't need to try harder. You just need to step into the version of you who's already arrived. You've made it to the end, and that already tells me something about you. You're not just curious. You're ready. Ready to stop carrying what isn't yours. Ready to step into a version of your life that isn't built on survival, but on truth, alignment, and self-respect. This isn't about waiting for the right time anymore. This is the right time. You've done the work even when no one saw it. You've stayed standing even when your own fire flickered. And now the universe is no longer asking you to fight. It's inviting you to reign. Remember this. What's ahead of you is not a reward. It's a reflection of your growth, of your clarity, of everything you chose to believe about yourself when it was hardest. Let this be the beginning, not the peak. Let this be the version of you that never again forgets what you came here to embody. Your dominion has already begun. All that's left is to claim it. I'm Luna Celestine, and I'll see you in the next cycle. Until then, stay grounded, stay true, and never dim your light for a world that was always meant to be lit by you.